course, got some baseball for you today. Mets have a 1-0 lead over the Phillies in the afternoon game. But the big story, of course,
the Brooklyn Nets. Oh, I'm sorry.
is Gerrit Cole's back on the mound tonight against an amazing offense, that nasty Nestor Cortez, and a bunch of New York Yankee relievers shut down yesterday. Can Gerrit Cole do the same, or are we ready to anoint Nasty as the new ace of the staff? Good afternoon, Evan. How are you today, kid?
I mean this with all due respect. You need to pitch 5 innings to be an ace.
That's probably fair.
And that's not on Nasty Nestor. This is on managers in general, baseball, and where we are today. But Nestor Cortez was great yesterday. I don't want to take anything away from him.
Yep.
But after he gives up a double to Matt Chapman, do we really need to sprint out to the mound to take his ass out of the game?
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. He's thrown 68 pitches. There's a guy on base. Get him out.
We need to keep Clay Holmes in his lane. Come on, man. I like watching Nestor Cortez pitch. I find it very, very entertaining.
Sure.
And I think that a start like this against an offense like this is an indicator that maybe last year was real. Maybe he can actually be as good as he was last year. But it just sucks, man, as a baseball fan, that sometimes we don't get to see the full act.
Yeah. Yeah, well, listen, that's going to be interesting what we do see and don't see tonight. Because today, listen, he had a bad first game. He's come up with 2 different excuses now as to why he had a bad game. One was Billy Crystal's fault for the first pitch fiasco, and the other one now is that siren that they play. When there's 2 strikes on a batter, he was unable to hear the pitch request from Higgy. So okay, now it's your second start. You got through the opening day stuff. Nasty showed you if you pitch well enough, you could shut down this offense.
Sure.
Now, the Yankees' offense wasn't great, but it was good enough. So you'll take the win anytime you can get it. But at some point, you do have to pitch like an ace, if you are one. So tonight, I can't wait for tonight's game because he's going to get shelled because that's what he does. He's not pitching through the 6th inning tonight. No Yankee starter does. So I can't put that only on him. But he's going to get shelled tonight. So if you're a Yankee fan, excited to go out to the ballpark, maybe for your first time this year, maybe after the nonsense that happened in Brooklyn yesterday in the subway, you've said, you know what? I'm getting on that subway. I'm getting on a train. I'm going out to a public event. I want to show the world that we're New York strong. All well and good. What is your legitimate expectation for tonight's game from Gerrit Cole?
Not to get shelled.
He's going to get shelled.
He wasn't shelled on opening day.
Yeah,
he was shelled over the first 4 batters, and then he settled in and basically retired everybody.
You're talking a shelling tonight.
What's a shelling?
A shelling tonight would be, well, let's see.
A shelling to me is he's giving up 5 runs or more. That's a shelling.
That's how you define a shelling?
I'm just giving you my answer on it. Yeah, you can't give me he gave up 3 runs and got shelled. I can't
he
go
got
with
shelled.
That.
3 runs in the first, game over.
What if he pitches 5 scoreless innings after that? Is that a shelling?
Yeah, but he didn't.
No. Listen, the opening day thing was that, and I guess this will hinder him if Boone continues to do this, is that he wasn't allowed to pitch deeper in the game.
Because what did he throw, 69, 70 pitches?
If he had thrown 2 more innings and had gone 6 innings and allowed 3 runs, I'm not saying that's something that you're in love with, but it would have been a settling in performance after a shaky first inning. That
would have been better, for sure.
But that's not a shelling.
Well, he's going to get shelled tonight.
What is a shelling? Instead of just using words and then claiming victory no matter what happens, define what it is.
I don't believe that shelling has a finite, tangible definition to it.
Yeah, but there are certain things that aren't a shelling.
Yeah, 3 runs in the first inning's a shelling. Sorry.
Not if you pitch 5 scoreless after that.
But he didn't.
No, but I'm talking about tonight. I'm not talking about opening day anymore.
Here's what we'll do.
You're guaranteeing he's going to be shelled.
Yeah, he's going to be shelled tonight. After tonight, whatever his numbers are, I will then be honest about it. I will tell you that
You're gonna be
either
honest.
It was a shelling, it was an average performance, it was whatever. I will be fair about it. My prediction is that when he leaves the game tonight, you and I will call one another and go, oh, he got shelled.
Well, look, if he gives up 7 runs in the first inning, he got shelled.
Yes.
If he can't get through the 3rd inning, he got shelled.
There you go.
I'll agree with you on that, but 6 innings, 3 runs, which may not be ace-like.
That's not just shelling. Well, I would agree.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but he hasn't done that yet. So he got shelled in the opener.
Are we going to do this every Gerrit Cole start? Where we are going to...
I did plan out the next month of this.
Yeah.
I did. I planned out through Memorial Day that we would do this. I want to turn every Gerrit Cole start into an event.
Right.
Because if you are an ace, it should be an event.
I understand that.
When DeGrom pitches when he's healthy, people show up because it's an event.
No, I totally agree.
So if
Max
Gerrit,
Scherzer even being on the mound is an event to me. I want to watch him pitch.
So to me, you can't have it, not you, in general, can't have it both ways. You got to pick one or the other. It's an event because he's the ace, or it's an event because it's going to be a firework night at Yankee Stadium for the opposition.
And look, one thing we've seen over the last 2 days is that even without an ace on the mound, the New York Yankees have shut down the Blue Jay offense.
They've done a very good job.
Like last night, they shut out the Toronto Blue Jays and didn't issue a walk. Just to put that in perspective. Do you know how many times the Blue Jays last year were shut out and didn't draw a walk in a game?
Maybe never.
0.
Yeah.
Now, on the other side, the Yankees shut out 13 opponents last year. Not bad, actually.
Okay.
How many times do you think in those shutouts they didn't walk anybody?
Never.
One time all season long.
Damn it.
Just to put in perspective how good really the accomplishment of Nestor Cortez and the Yankee bullpen last night was. It really was incredible that they were able to do that to this Blue Jay offense.
Well, I'm looking forward to tonight's game. And again, as a diehard Yankee fan, I do hope that I'm wrong, Evan. There's sometimes that I do hope that I get my predictions wrong.
Right.
I just don't think that's going to be the case. I think this, unfortunately, is a series loss to Toronto. And your alleged ace will do what I think he's going to do a lot of this year, and that is pitch from behind because he ain't that good.
It's a 4-game series, so
it's 4. I apologize.
It won't be a series loss.
Okay, relax, Tiger. Okay.
just saying.
He'll guarantee that you don't win the series, all right? Let me rephrase that.
Go.
So the grammar police that suddenly I work
grammar
next
police.
to,
It's a 4-game series.
if they lose tonight, they can't win the series.
Yeah.
So let me just say it correctly so you can all just get off my ass here on a Wednesday when Tony Storm's coming by at 5 o'clock later on. Now, that being said, I do want to hear from people today, Evan, that went to any one of the 4 arenas and stadiums last night on the heels of the shooting in Brooklyn. I just want to know what it was like. You know, I didn't go to the game. Evan, you were at the net game, so I'll get your take on that in just 1 second. Did you notice any different? Was it harder to get in last night? Again, there was Madison Square Garden. The Rangers played. The Yankees, of course, played. You were in Brooklyn at Barclays for the net game, and the Islanders played at UBS. So I'm just wondering, did you sense more police?
Yeah.
Did you sense a difference with people going in?
First of all, everybody won but the Rangers. Just want to point that out. Second of all, when the Nets game started, the building was half empty. And it wasn't one of those.
As predicted.
Yeah, it wasn't one of those, see, no one cares about the Nets, you loser. No, it took a while for it to fill up. It eventually did. I'd say about with 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. So that was very much noticeable that it was taking longer for people to get in. And then the Brooklyn Nets did have not a moment of silence because no one died.
Right.
They had a moment of remembrance, a moment of reflection is what they called it.
Got it.
I thought it was really interesting because you're not really having a moment of silence.
And
but
when did they do that?
Right before the national anthem.
Okay.
They spoke about what had happened earlier in the day and said, we now ask for a moment of reflection.
Okay.
And they announced they were donating money to all the victims from the shooting, which was a nice gesture. But after that, like once the game started and the place filled up, there was a great buzz. There was a great electricity. So everything felt normal after that. But certainly at the beginning of the game, yeah.
And you felt it walking in? You could see more police out there last night? Or at least you felt like you saw more police?
You know, I think so. I can't say for certain because when there's a playoff game, or in this case a play-in game, there is usually more of a police presence. It's just generally the case. So the only thing I really noticed is that the security lines were really long.
Well,
and when that game started, you know, it was 30% filled.
Let me just tell you, moments ago, NYPD announced they have caught him.
Really?
Yes. So they have him in custody.
Nice.
Frank James is his name. He's the attack suspect at this point, but they believe he's the guy. I'm watching video right now of them. They have him in handcuffs. I don't know the specifics about how they found him and the where and all that stuff, but rest easy tonight, New York, because NYPD, and it's NYPD, made the collar a few moments ago, and they have Frank James, 62 years old, in custody.
So it took about 24 hours, and you knew it. We said this yesterday. They're going to find this guy. It may have made you a little nervous last night if you were on the subways or if you're out and about, but it took 24 hours, and now justice will be served.
So well done by NYPD and all the different offices that contributed to that. But as I said, they do have him in custody, and we will go from there. But last night, I know a lot of people, maybe sold their tickets or gave them away or didn't go. Some people took different methods of transportation. I didn't ask you how you went, but what was your experience?
Well, also, I got video from a guy who was at the Yankee game saying they did the same thing before the game.
The moment of reflection?
I don't know if they specifically said moment of reflection, but they acknowledged what happened in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the Garden. I'm not saying they haven't done it. I just don't know for sure. But you did see teams last night reference it before the national anthem. And, kind of basically.
I bet you they all did.
I would assume so.
I would think so. I bet you they even discussed it amongst themselves.
Sure.
The parties that say, listen, we got 80,000 people coming to our buildings tonight. This thing was still live. The guy hadn't been caught yet, obviously. Let's acknowledge it. So
right.
I wouldn't be shocked if they discussed those types of things. But if they did it at Yankee Stadium, and obviously they had to do it in Brooklyn.
Was, of course, going to happen.
I'm sure the Garden did it. And my guess is that they did it at UBS because I'm sure they're aware that the other teams are going to do it.
Yeah.
And it's the right thing to do.
Of course.
It's this, you have your finger on the pulse of what your local fans are going through.
So last night, and trust me, this will make sense before you roll your eyes, my sister was at the Florida Panthers game down in Sunrise, Florida.
Okay.
The only reason I bring it up is she texted me and said, Evan, I have never seen as much security here as I'm seeing tonight.
Oh, so maybe that was a league-wide or nationwide for all the leagues?
Yeah, I think
guys,
so.
Maybe the commissioners reached out?
I think so, because she was saying to me, do you think this is because of what happened in Brooklyn? And
I
I'm
guess.
like, yeah. I mean, why else would it be the case on that very given night?
Well, we'll get all your calls, 877-337-6666. Hey, just to give you an update, Jake's in Dix Hills. He works for the Islanders. Did you guys do something last night before the game, Jake?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Yeah.
We just before the anthem, it wasn't exactly a moment of silence, but it was a moment of, acknowledgement.
Right.
For
Good. Yeah, so every team did it, Evan. I'm sure I was not the Garden, obviously, but I'm sure the Garden did it also. See, I'm going to have to turn the TVs off. That's what I'm going to have to do. Now, first time ever, hold on a sec, Jake. The TVs are going off in here. I hate to do it, but I got to do it. And the iPad. I know turn that iPad around.
I have been able to multitask my entire life. In fact, some may say I'm the greatest multitasker in the world of multitasking.
I see what you're doing.
Pipe down over there.
Nope, you're not concentrating.
I am. I've heard every word that was said. I'm also following the Met game so that as soon as the game is over, the only place people are going to want to be is with us.
Yeah,
and we will be able to give instant analysis.
Instant analysis.
I know what I'm doing there, bro.
Okay, all right. As you keep turning to your right, pumping your fist.
Listen, we both know our roles. You keep looking up Tony Storm's info. I'll keep watching the Met game, all right?
All right. So how's the atmosphere there, Jake?
I mean, when the game started, it was almost empty. There was no one there.
Right.
And about halfway through the first, it was a packed house. They played Pittsburgh. I usually see 0 police officers there. There were maybe 5 or 10.
Well, to be fair, it's kind of hard to navigate the parking at UBS still. So, I mean, every Islander game starts off with a half-empty house.
I mean, maybe 3/4 empty and then it fills in, but this was completely empty.
You know what? That's the thing I noticed about the Nets. Like, the Nets always start with empty seats. The only night I ever remember there were no empty seats when a game started, I kid you not, was Kyrie's first game back a couple of weeks ago.
People so amped for it.
Oh, my God, there was juice. So usually there are empty seats, but there were more empty seats when this game started last night. And I assume the same would have been at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, I'm sure there was.
And I assume at Yankee Stadium as well, because if you remember opening day.
That was a bleep show.
Yeah.
I mean, I got more complaints about that than I can't remember the last game. And listen, it's been that way for a while now with the metal detectors. It's not new to Yankee Stadium. But they got to figure out a better way to do it. That's for damn sure.
It's tough because, look, to me, most of the time, I really think, Craig, it's unnecessary. On a night like last night, I think we all kind of take a deep breath and say, hey, I like it. It protects us because something real just happened.
Sure.
But in general, and you know me, I go to a ton of sporting events. Most of the time, I'm rolling my eyes saying, what are we doing here?
Right.
We're not going
Well, you're
on an
also not
airplane.
carrying a weapon of any kind. Right? The idea is that it's part of it is a visual deterrent to bringing a weapon in.
I totally get that.
Because if I got to go through a metal detector, where am I putting my shiv? Right? Where am I hiding my 22?
Right?
I mean, so that's really 90% of it. And by the way, I'm sure they catch things that you never imagined.
Do you think it's necessary?
Do I think it's
in general?
Do I think it's necessary?
Do you think that you should have to go through a metal detector to go to a sporting event?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. I wouldn't fight for it, but I do. We live in a weird place now,
What Craig's
man.
leaving out is when he goes into his bougie entrances.
I got to
doesn't
go
have
through
wait
it, too. I
online.
just don't. There's not a lot of people on that line.
That's what I mean.
But I do go through a metal detector, even when I go to the Garden through the VIP entrance. There's you empty your pockets. Yeah, the whole thing. I got to do it just like everybody else. Nothing special about me. Trust me on that one. There's just not as many people in my line.
Right.
But I got to empty my pockets.
Craig gets TSA pre-check when he goes to sporting events,
I wish I did, by the way. I wish I did. Real quick, here's Dan in St. James. Dan, what do you got, buddy?
Hey, what's up, Craig? I'm in a bunch of these group chats of people that are buffing out New York City police chatter and stuff.
Yeah.
Supposedly, this guy was walking the streets in Manhattan like nothing happened, just a regular day walking the streets. So
Really?
regular beat cops that weren't even looking for the guy. They were just standing there, foot posts, found him.
So regular beat cops are just minding their own business.
Wow.
They see a guy that fits the description, and they go,
And they
wait a
grab him
minute,
up.
that might be the guy?
So this guy didn't think maybe I should skip town.
From what these group chats are saying, the people that listen to all the police chatter,
Yeah.
it's saying that regular beat cops radioed in that we got the guy.
How about
And he
this?
gave up. He didn't,
I'm looking
didn't
at the
fight at all.
actual, I'm looking at them putting him in the back of a patrol car.
Yeah, that's not that video. You don't see FBI, you don't see ATF,
Right, you
nobody,
don't.
no SWAT team.
You see a couple, you see a hand, I mean, at this point, you see about a half dozen or so uniformed
Yeah.
cops, because they've already got him
So-
under arrest.
Right.
And it's right
You would figure it'd
outside.
be a SWAT team.
There's a place called East Village Wines or Village Craft Beer and Smoke Shop.
Are you not surprised that the guy didn't try to, I don't know, run away and leave town? Doesn't he realize he's the most wanted man in New York City?
I think you're
Well, they
also,
were saying he was living in that U-Haul.
yeah, he was living in the U-Haul. And listen, I imagine he has mental health issues as well.
Right.
I'm not excusing what he did. He's going to go away for the rest of his life. But
So he's not thinking about an escape
I don't
plan
think. I
necessarily.
think he woke up today and went for a stroll.
Right. Thought it's a regular day. Beautiful day in New York City. I'm going to go for a walk.
Now, he didn't have his U-Haul anymore because they found it, as you know, yesterday.
Right.
But yeah, I'm looking at it. This guy, he's not putting up a fight. There's no FBI that I can see there. It's just random patrol officers.
I guess I assumed, and I clearly assumed wrong, was that when we couldn't find him yesterday, he'd be hightailing it out of here, trying to
You would
ditch
think,
town,
right?
trying to hide, like go to a different city, go to a different state, try to leave the country. But apparently not.
Right. You would think that, all right, the jig is up here. I better hightail it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went for a stroll in the East Village.
Yeah.
Like nothing had happened. So great job by NYPD.
To be
Well done.
expected. To be expected.
And I'm glad that the patrol officers actually just recognized them and were paying attention, as you know they typically do. So there you go. Crazy, right?
And the best part
'Cause you
about
gotta figure everybody's looking for this guy, right? FBI, the TARU part, which is the tactical response guy, heavy duty dudes, right?
Right.
Plainclothes guys. He went for a stroll.
Crazy.
Stop by East Village Wines, grab me a bottle.
And the most fortunate part is that A, he didn't try anything again, and B, no one died.
Yeah.
And it could have been, as you pointed out yesterday, so much worse.
If that gun doesn't jam, you have 50 dead people.
We're talking about an incredible tragedy.
So, all right, all good. The bad guy got caught. The Mets are winning. The Yankees won last night, as the Mets did as well, although Diaz gave you a little scare. And it's Gerrit Cole Wednesday.
And we have a playoff team in the NBA. Doesn't it feel good?
Not yet.
They made the playoffs. Yes, they did last night.
Not till Sunday.
9:30.
Not till Sunday.
At about 9:15 last night, they won.
Not till Sunday.
They did.
I
tell
can't
you-
believe they got to
and
wait till Sunday to play.
I'm glad they get to wait till Sunday. More rest. Rest up, baby. Need as much rest as possible. I need rest. I was stressed out last night.
877-337-6666. All your calls coming up. Tony Storm at 5 o'clock. Of course, tomorrow on the show, I should tell you, that Buck Showalter's coming on at 4 o'clock. So that'll be tomorrow. So we have lots to do prior to that.